So the town hall Sunday night between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton got a lot of people talking, right? It could really be the most ugly situation we've seen in presidential history. One of the interesting reactions that went viral was this tweet, okay? Trump's President Day 1 checklist. 1, jail opponent. 2, media crackdown. 3, support Assad. Coincidentally, that was also Putin's checklist. You see the name there? One of the smartest people you ever meet in your life. Garry Kasparov wrote that tweet. He is a Russian dissident and former world chess champion. He's also the author of, quote, Winter is Coming, book that you can get right now. Mr. Kasparov, great to have you
Morning,
here.
thank you.
Now, first, the question that many people will have this morning. Why? Why would you get involved in something like this? We know you're involved in humanitarian causes, but what is driving your desire to expose yourself to the fray?
Look, I think that Trump's potential victory could threaten not only democracy in this country, but democracy worldwide. And it could be the gift for Putin or other dictators and thugs in the world, because they see Trump as a perfect agent of chaos. And that's what dictators need. That's what Putin needs, to destroy the system of global security. And Trump, from what he says and what he does, even before being elected, I mean, is a perfect counterpart.
An agent of chaos. That's an interesting phrase. All right, I'll give you that. Maybe people could look at what he's doing here as disruptive, and that could be an opportunity. But to liken him to Putin, obviously you understand Putin and his ways better than many Americans do, unless they do a lot of homework. Do you think it's fair to compare the two men favorably?
No, I think it's fair because Trump demonstrates time and again his disrespect for democratic procedures, the way he speaks, and his plans when he talks about NATO allies, when he talks about global security. I mean, it just raises many questions. And I think that from what we know about Donald Trump, his life, his demeanor, so should raise these questions. And the fact that he denies, any involvement of Putin and KGB into affairs like, hacking, DNC or other American institutions. And by the way, even in the ad that you showed a few minutes ago,
there's a new commercial out where he's talking about Hillary Clinton's health. You say there's no mention of Russia.
Exactly. He didn't mention annexation of Crimea and war in Ukraine. So that tells you that there's something sinister just as he's hiding, and that's why probably he's not revealing his taxes. And again, I feel very uncomfortable because many things that Trump said and he's saying, I heard them before, and trust me, it didn't sound any better in Russian.
Now, you have an obvious gift for logic and strategy. When you look at what has propelled Donald Trump to this point, his success, and why he is in a relatively tight race 27 days out, why is it happening?
Look, again, unfortunately, it comes from many dictators' playbooks. They address real pains. The issues that Donald Trump raised throughout the campaign, they're real. A lot of people in this country, they feel this pain,
Yes.
And then you hear, and that's typically for every dictator, to be dictator. I'm the one who can fix it. Don't ask me how. Because I know it, and I will not tell you just not to inform establishment.
But politicians are often evasive. They often say they overpromise. How is he different?
Oh yeah, there are legitimate politicians that could make promises they cannot fulfill. But Trump is not making real promises. He's trying to cover the big picture, and what he suggests, is so much, against the normal democratic procedures, expelling the illegal immigrants, closing borders for Muslims, and again, debates. By the way, the good thing is we never seen Putin participating in debates. I mean, he could avoid them in Russia. But Trump in debate, his behavior there shows that he's not capable of learning, and it is a typical, dictator's inclination to deflect criticism. So he doesn't want to hear criticism, and he's getting, very, very annoyed.
Sergei Lavrov, foreign minister of Russia, sits down with Christiane Amanpour just now and says, this is ridiculous, this notion that we would have anything to do with meddling in your election. He says, I don't have to deny it because the U.S. has not proved it. What do you think?
That's basically confession. And by the way, the same was said in similar words by Putin when he said it didn't matter who actually released these emails. What mattered, that's the substance. And in one of my tweets, I said that anyone can edit Wikipedia, but only KGB can edit WikiLeaks. And while, we understand that there's certain things that, are hurting Hillary and other Democrats in these emails, the very fact that, that the KGB has its hands on it. And
you're completely confident in that?
Absolutely. There's no doubt. And by the way, attacking U.S. political system could happen only with a direct order from Putin. Nobody in Russia would do it without dictator's permission. And I think it is when you're dealing with evidence that is contaminated, even partially, I mean, the rest becomes irrelevant. And again, the fact is that Trump keeps relying on this data and even openly inviting foreign power to intervene in U.S. elections, again, tells you about some kind of sinister clandestine connections. Because, from KGB playbooks, Trump was an ideal person to recruit. Look at his biography, financial problems, bankruptcies, his behavior, this innate sense of impunity, hubris. And he keeps, telling us that his taxes will not be released because, and then many other reasons. I don't buy them. And I just also, there's so much, that keeps, that brings Trump and Putin together. So for those who would like to read more, so I can address them to the website, new website, putintrump.org, because there are many more stories coming out. And for Americans that, that are planning to vote for Trump-Pence, I mean, they should realize that most likely they're voting for Putin-Trump. And by the way, with Putin on the top of the ticket.
Heavy allegation. People should go to the website and see the basis for it. Garry Kasparov, thank you very much. Pleasure to meet you. Allison.
It was a riveting